it's uncommon to sing in Jordanian accent rock, but it ended up like 10 years later, it was the common thing to sing. Small young bands in Egypt, it was the reference for rock. For me, there was no reference. I had no reference. And how can I sing Jordanian in a rock song?
Hey, welcome to QuarterTones podcast. My name is Mikey Mhenna. As you know, the QuarterTones podcast is exploring the music from and of the Arab world. Basically, what we're trying to do is answer the question, what did music from the Arab world sound like in the past? What does it sound like today? And what might it sound like in the future? Today on this series, I'm joined by Mahmoud Radaideh, who is a composer, guitarist, vocalist, and the frontman behind JadaL band, a really at this point iconic Jordanian alternative band that has been making music for over a decade. I'm honored to have Mahmoud on the series. Welcome.
Thank you, Mikey. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with just a really basic question. How do you feel when people ask you, what type of music does JadaL make?
And in the beginning, it was a quest for me to prove that there's a genre that I want to call Arabic rock. You're talking about like early 2000s and the early beginnings. Because this is something I dreamed about as a kid. Like I want to let people listen to rock music, but in Arabic. Now it's common. Like now it's, there are plenty of indie bands, but we're talking like JadaL I formed JadaL in 2003. And back then, no bands were playing songs in Arabic. Almost none in the whole region, barely. But of course, the movements, they start together. You can, later on we learned that there is this band that started with us at the same time and they had the same vision. So back then, the vision was Arabic rock. It officially became a genre now. Like you go into Anghami or whatever, you can choose Arabic rock as your song or whatever. Even if you upload your song, which is, I don't know, whoever takes the credit for it, but it happened.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't know how to say it, but it got diluted. Like you can sing, especially JadaL. Like we have so many genres within JadaL. Like I do from rock to pop to electro, oriental to hard rock. So we're one of those bands. Like it's not one style, one genre, one thing. So I do whatever comes up with me. So, but yes, we are indie, we are rock. We cover a lot of spectrum in terms of genres, but we are a rock band at the end.
If I was friends with you when we were in high school, like let's say
if you were a friend with me in high school,
yeah, like let's say like 1998, 1999.
You mean
right?
2012?
2012, صح. Yeah, exactly. Wink, wink. Like 1999, what was in your Discman? What were the CDs in your CD jogger?
Okay. Deftones, Tool, I don't know if Muse was there. Exactly 1999. Let's say 2000. It's going to be White Pony, Deftones for sure. I had Korn, I had Tool. I'm not sure if Muse again was there. Radiohead might have been there. Might had some grunge songs, maybe Pearl Jam, maybe Alice in Chains. It's a tough question.
It's funny because grunge makes sense to me, right? Like, come in, like, I feel like, so the grunge movement that came out of Seattle, Pearl Jam and Nirvana and that type of stuff, it makes sense that Tool and grunge and that stuff would feel really relevant in Amman as a high schooler.
Nice. But you know how I listened to Tool. My brother came from the US and he had this cassette he used to listen to while he was like bodybuilding. It was in a Sony cassette, the sports one with like correct earphone or like
the ones that go from the back.
You must be like I had to hold it all the time. I had Tool in it. When I heard it, like I was like literally orgasms. Like then I experienced orgasms. What the hell is their music that good? Like is music that good? I was at that point of age, I was 14, something like that. And I was exploring, is music this good? Would music make you feel that good? Uh, and many other bands. Then from that time, I was exploring my love for music and how it make me feel and how I ended up communicating my feelings within my music.
When did you first start feeling like I could turn this into a career and I could actually be successful doing this? And no, this is not just a cover band. This is not just like a garage band. I think I'm going to pay my rent with music.
Allah, to be honest, I have never wanted to be a full-time musician for many reasons. This is printed in my DNA. I don't know why. Like, I want to have music as passion. So I'm always passionate about making music and not end up like compensating with my music quality or the compositions I make just to like be fast in composition or composing, writing, producing, whatever. But to be honest, after like all the time, I discovered, because I always had something else to do. Like for the past 10 years, I have an e-commerce business, and I entered the flower industry, and I made a shop or two, and from that online business, it's called meetwhatday.com. From that, I opened another shop and another shop. So, and before that, I was working in other companies as an IT guy. And it reminds me to tell you about the 1983, okay, 1983. So,
Mahmoud, before you keep on going, not many people who start grunge bands also have flower businesses.
None. Yeah, it's but pure luck. Like when I started it, I needed to send clothes to somebody abroad, or so I discovered that we don't have the service in Jordan. That was in 2012 or 2013. Like I'm gonna do this because I was working in digital marketing, and before anyone knew what SEO means, if Google it, Google doesn't know it. I was working in that. And doing music. I was always quitting a job to make an album, quitting a job to record whatever. So I only stay like 7 months in a job until I made my own business. So yes, it's a weird combination. It came from my background of being a digital marketer, not being a florist. But I learned everything at the end. So, so yes, I can make you an awful floral bouquet. Awful.
So funny.
Me, I don't. I have people who does flowers, of course. So where were we? I wanted to keep it as a passion, but and like me and a couple of other fellow musicians that kept their jobs and made hits and made it around the region. I can share names and with the time we had and the passion we had, we made a lot more than what other like full-time musicians would have done. So I'm always like imagining, if I was a full-time musician, would I have done more or better or not? So it's something I will never discover, and I'm always in the debate of should I quit now? Should I like move now? Like so, but making it as a career, it could be, and it can be, and but I'm not depending fully on it.
Well, I guess maybe a better version of that question, like a more precise version of that question, is really like, when did you start feeling that JadaL is a thing that matters to people beyond me? When did I start noticing that this music, because music is a really interesting genre.
Yeah.
When you meet somebody who loves your music, it's their music. It's
exactly. So obviously you know a lot, bro. You know too much. So yes, I actually, one of the things that there are more than one incident. First one was when I heard the first recording of a song called Darawish, a mixed version. I was like, I think I had tears in my ears then. I had tears in my ears.
You're a superhero.
So yeah, back then I teared. It was the first time for me to listen to something that we have created in the band, like on speakers. The time that I realized that this is now it's bigger than me. It's not just music, not because at the beginning I had somebody else singing the songs. So and the second album, Makina, أنا بخاف من Commitment, which is one of the biggest hits for JadaL. I sang the song and other songs in that album, the second album. And the first time I played it live, it was the first time for me to witness the crowd like shutting up the vocals. Like I couldn't sing. Like we didn't have it before in the band. So at that point, I was not able to sing from them singing louder than me. So at that point, it was the first time I feel success.
Let's play أنا بخاف من Commitment. So I'm playing this off YouTube. If you want to go check it out, you're more than welcome to. This was published on YouTube 11 years ago. So let's hear it and then talk about it. Here we go.
حالك لو يجت عينك بعيني بنرجع 4 ثواني وبشوف من خلالك قدريني بتنزلي من عيني واختفي من هون وانا بقول تريحيني وتريحي حالك لو يجت عينك بعيني بنرجع 4 ثواني وبشوف من خلالك قدريني بتنزلي من عيني واختفي من هون ولو الحق مش عليك بس خايف اتعود عليك كم جنة رنت مردي تقول انك تحبي صوتي تصير معزي اصحابي وصاحبي بتفش سيارتي وساعات 200 مليون.
So I'm curious, what does it actually feel like to listen to that song?
Like on very bad quality streaming, because I'm hearing like this quality now.
You're hearing it from the phone. That's in general like a song that's was so popular from such a different time in your life. You know, it's from when you were in your 20s, completely different time in your life.
I can't be honest, I don't have any, I don't feel anything. Like, I remembered now that I had to replace the vocals on the video. So the vocals on the video is different from the vocals on the record. Like, when we were recording, doing the shooting, I was like, no, I'm not going to keep this on the video. So I had to go re-record it. So, but another thing that I remember that all of the instruments at the beginning are all some things from my studio. So the kick was from hitting on the pad, so something like that. The snare was like this and like this, whatever. So, so no, I'm not nostalgic to that song. I don't know. I don't feel, as you said, sometimes you don't feel they're yours anymore.
So, do you guys still perform this?
Yes, of course. If we don't, they'll kill us.
If we don't, they will kill us.
No. We have like a special move in that song at the part that you skip.
Yeah.
We ask people to sit down, so they're like in thousands to be sitting down, sometimes 5, 6, 7,000.
Wow.
And once the build up comes in, they'll all.
Where do you like, since you're talking so much about performance, what cities do you like to perform the most?
Well, surely Amman, Egypt, because we have the biggest crowds in these two cities. We were very surprised, like, to have our tickets sold in like a couple of hours in Tunisia on our last concert.
Nice.
And we haven't performed in Beirut for maybe only once. Maybe it doesn't count as well. So yeah.
Are the crowds in Amman different than the crowds in Egypt? Do they respond completely differently?
In the beginning, we learned a lot from the Egyptian crowd because the amount of involvement and engagement they have is magnificent. It was new to us. The amount of love we witnessed in Egypt specifically was overwhelming. One of the things that kept us going. Like after the release of the third album, Malyoun, when we went there, we had a 2 hours, 40 minutes concerts. We played 26 songs maybe, non-stop. And we had to travel the same day and do the sound checks the same day. Anyway, the difference mainly in Amman that you find songs that Amman specifically love. For some reason, because they feel the lyrics different because it's their accent. So
yeah.
So for example, songs like Hamm, Bala, the way I sing it in Amman is different from any other city. It's always special in Amman.
You were talking about how like now on Anghami, there's a whole genre called Arabic rock.
Yes. They need to pay me for that.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask you. Do you feel like the newer generation like understand the history of Arabic rock?
And listen, part of me says it doesn't matter. Another part of me says like, yeah, people should know what I've done. But it's not only me. Like whatever I have done, without the other bands, it would have not been accomplished, regardless of who started first. Okay.
مثلا
yes, when I
مين
started,
مين
like you have After Zafir, like they're my friends, and we just started for them. Rabba, you have Kairoki, they started with us, but on different country, different continent. We barely heard of each other, but we started at the same time. And they used to play rock in a bit, in a way, and softer rock. I think those were the bands like you could consider rock or Arabic rock. But honestly, for me, I have never heard that term Arabic rock. But if you Google it, you could find a band from the 70s and wherever. You know what I mean? So when my brother used to have a band where they used to play Oriental rock. They had like English lyrics, but for us that was a little bit new. But it could resemble
it's like English lyrics with a harmonic minor.
Yes, exactly. But it's like it could resemble like bands like Tea Party, Led Zeppelin. They play the Arabic things.
Yeah,
but it's different, of course. Of course, that was my biggest influence. Like my brother having a band.
Yeah.
But I was like, why are you singing in English? Like in my head, I was young. Like, why are we singing in English? And actually, one of the first arguments I had in my band, like, okay, we want to sing in Arabic. So my bandmates, back then we were discussing, maybe it should be in formal Arabic. I was like, no, we have to sing in Jordanian, so people know where we're from, and so we make history with that. If you sing in formal Arabic, nobody would know where. It could be an Englishman singing formal Arabic,
Did you get any pushback from other people outside the band? إنه مجنون أنت. You want to sing بأردني?
Yeah, of course.
How did the crowd react? How did the venues react? How did people react?
Before we okay, let me try to remember. The first things I was hearing, like, oh, Jordanian is very heavy. I was like, sorry, this is maybe you think so, but there are so many languages around the world that they sing in English. I don't have to like mention one because for us, some languages are heavy for us on the ear. For others, is different or whatever.
Yeah.
So yes, Jordanian maybe was like it's uncommon to sing in Jordanian accent rock, but it ended up like 10 years later, it was the common thing to sing. Like small young bands in Egypt would be like, it was the reference for rock. For me, there was no reference. I had no reference. And how can I sing Jordanian in a rock song? I had no reference at all. Not even pop, barely. You know what I mean? So yes, there was no reference at all.
So okay, let's keep on going. What was the next big song that sort of changed the way you thought about the music that you could actually create? Because now when we were talking about the commitment song, you're like, hey, this is not me. And no khalas, this was like one stage. What was the next stage after that, where you kind of really found a style that was a different chapter?
It's actually, it's not that. It's actually when I wrote and recorded that song, specifically that song, actually it came after recording the album. We were finished with the album. I had a couple of musician friends that recorded the album with me, and this song came after finishing the album, and it was the hit of the album. So and I actually recorded almost everything in it, like the whole song. When I say it wasn't me, it's not that I don't like connect with it. It's just when songs get too big, you don't feel that you own them anymore. You know, so not even the band owns them. The next song, the album Malyoun, was the heaviest album. I intended to have a heavy album so people would listen to what I have listened to when I was younger. So I wanted to introduce the harder part of rock. So the heavy riffs, when if you could, I don't know, the riffs from all the bands. Like if you listen to songs like Ken's in the album or Malyoun, maybe you have it in the list. It's one of the heavier sounds. But still, it's not heavy metal. It's like hard rock by Max. I think Yumain Leila was Yumain Leila or Ashrar. Okay, Ashrar is the black horse of the Malyoun album because it got bigger than we thought. And Yumain Leila is a band on its own. This song became an anthem. Like when we sing it, it has a very, very special atmosphere, and it reached much more than any other song for JadaL, I believe, in different ways, because the subject it's touching and people feel it.
Okay, let's listen to Malyoun. Also, this is on YouTube, so if you want to go find it, it's easy to find. This came out 7 years ago, so let's listen to it a little bit.
وانا راح اجمع مليون في بلاد البر والشور العالم لا يتركون الا الماء ومصاري وانا راح ابلش مليون بينطح مليون وواكب عالم مجنون بينسى انه العالم فاني العالم لا يكترثون إلا للمعه مصاري وأنا راح أبلش مليون بينطح مليون وأواكب عالم مجنون ينسى إنه العالم فات
So that's a song you should have skipped.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't I don't want to skip anything this time.
No, I had to skip. Some songs are long again.
But I'm curious about the music video because a project like this, as you said, like so many of the songs, you are the creative force behind it. So you're writing, you're producing, you're performing. Sometimes you're performing multiple tracks. How much are you also involved in? Actually, no, Malyoun, this is what the music video is going to be. I have this idea, khalas, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the best at that, but I do that actually. But like for Malyoun specifically, like I wrote the draft and like this is one of the ideas. I don't know how many ideas I had. So yes, I wrote that video, but of course the director and the team had some edits, of course.
Yeah. So like this type of thing, when you come out with a record like this, where you're like, I'm going to have really hard riffs. I want people to understand that I was listening to Muse and listening to Tool, and I'm, this feels very musy, but I'm listening to this type of music. I want them to understand it, right?
Yeah.
Were you surprised about the response? Did people respond to
100%? This is the most successful album for JadaL.
But did you expect it to be the most successful, or were you like, whoa?
I was never like you always like when I had Selma first single for JadaL, I was like, okay, I've got JadaL places.
Yeah.
Then I heard the Makina album, and I was trying to prove myself because I had a new band, like I reformed the whole thing. So I was working very hard then, and because I believed in myself. And Makina album came out, and thankfully it succeeded in its own run.
Yeah.
Having songs like Al-Masaf and many other songs. Then was Malyoun. I think I was at my peak then. Like, okay, now I know how I'm gonna do it, and but of course it took over a year to finish that album. For me to I didn't imagine that I can like keep up of doing better until Malyoun. And the fourth album is a different story. We can talk about it. Like, yes, Malyoun was better than Makin, and Makin was better. But now people listen to everything. Like, they would listen to things from the first album, and it's their favorite song. Listen to things from the last album, fourth album, it's their favorite. So now you can't control what people listen to.
Okay, I wanna continue and play some more recent stuff.
Is it Hamm or Bala?
Yeah.
So basically, this song was on the last album.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that it's like top 5 or top 3 listen to songs for JadaL. Like, this is another thing that would keep me going. Like, okay, fine. Like, this is the fourth album. We have like big songs in it. And alhamdulillah, we had Hamm or Bala. Yani.
You were saying that this is like a phrase that is super Jordanian.
Yeah, this is in a way, yeah, it's very Jordanian. And it has like twisted lyrics, like mind twisting lyrics. Like, you need to listen to it. You don't have to keep it all if anybody listens to it, because it's a dialogue. Actually, should I explain now
Yeah,
or after?
please. No, explain now. Like, what does it mean? What does it mean to you?
So for the English speakers, Hamm or Bala, how do you translate Hamm or Bala? Sadness and bad times, sadness and bad circumstances, or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
Something like that, right? So basically, when I wrote that song, I had a dialogue between 3 people, because I was talking to this woman. I wrote it about her being like, damn, this world is gonna end. I don't care what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do something about it, just so people. And I have a lyric that says that I want to stay till the end, so people see my name in the credits. That's like as if it's a movie. And there's a third person, that dialogue, which is me again, the evil me, like having fun of me having a dialogue with another person about my existence. And the silly or strange thing that actually all those 3 people are me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So I'm talking. Anyway.
The voices in your head.
Yes, 3 voices.
Okay, let's listen to a little bit of it.
قالت لي مالا، قلت لها يحبوش الطموش، قالت لي لا هم وبالا، قالت لي الدنيا هيك، قلت لها لا، قالت لي مالا، قلت لها يحبوش الطموش، قالت لي لا هم وبالا، طب ليش ما تطلعي لفوق، قالت لي جشع وتمنى، طب يلا إذا على جزيرة ننسى الأرض المستديرة وكل الناس اللي عليها، نترك هالبلد ونغليها، قالت لي أصلا مسطح أروح لها حالك مالي مصلحة، صعب أكره كل اللي عليها، بس نفسي أشوف كيف بننهيها، ليش بدك تستني عليها، بدي أشوف اسمي على الكريدتس، ما يكونش عمري خلص، ما يكونش فزت أو خسرت،
So I'm curious about the life of your life as somebody who's running JadaL. Like, are you recording all the time? Are you writing all the time? You have another career, and how are you doing this stuff? Are you trying to tour? Are you trying to just think of this as a creative project?
And of course,
And that's it?
no, of course, the thing I have most passion for is JadaL and music. I would want to make as much music as I can. In the past 2 years, things have changed all around the world. So things are different now. Like we used to tour a lot just for 2020. So yeah, things are different now. How I my office is my studio. So and I have how I run my businesses. Like I have people to run the daily operation and just follow up. And if they have problems, or if we want to improve something, and if we want to have like a new project, which it's not, and it's not like really, really official like this. No, small projects. So it's not it doesn't need me to be like in an office, like in a suit and having meetings and, so things are solved on the phone. And other times I'm in my studio, like I can record instantly at any time, just like shut the door and close the window and record an idea. I don't have problem with that. I have problem with having new songs. So this is like when I have writer's block for like a couple of months and suddenly have 3-4 songs like waiting for them to be released. Like I was very happy to record the song recently, and it was so easy for me to finish it for a change, because it's always very sophisticated, and like maybe I became better at producing, and it was like I was like done by one day. Like, okay, this is a song now. I can just re-record if I have to, and it's a good song. Other songs like take 30 sessions, like it stays for months.
Where does it break down in the sort of the music side, lyrics? Like, I don't know, the idea or instrumentation, the production.
Yeah.
Like, where does it stop?
Listen, usually what I do is that I put the song on the computer. I have an idea, and I show it to my bandmates. This is what I think. Let's try it out. If we were touring at that time, we'd be meeting anyway. So okay, let's try that new song. But now, since we're not touring, I'm only doing things on the computer, and I'm finishing songs. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll end up doing it all in the box. So it breaks out in more than one section. If I don't have the full lyrics, the song could stay out for years on the shelf.
Yeah.
If the song I've tried the song with the band and it didn't work out for multiple times, okay, now, and it's not with the band, it's not on the computer, so it's on the chip. If I try to record it and end up wanting to record the live instruments, like live drums, etc., this could now we need to find a studio in Jordan, because we don't have very good studios. We do have studios, but we don't have in Egypt it's different. Maybe Beirut's different. You can have studios ready to record drums here. It's not as easy.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So the best way for me to finish a song is have it okay, I recorded by myself, and whoever wants to record it. But I think live drums is the hardest.
Live drums.
Yeah, sorry, drums.
Are there? What is this like in Lebanon? I was having this conversation a couple of days ago. In the last few years, I mean, since the Thawra, Infijar, COVID, a million problems, we've lost a lot of people. But even with that, we still have a really good base of musicians. There's just a lot of musicians here. What is the music scene like in Amman or in Jordan in general?
Well, in Amman or in Jordan, you barely have 5 good drummers. I think that's the ones I know. So you can imagine, like, the 4 or 5 bands that came out from Amman, they were maybe the only musicians in Amman. Like, the only musicians doing original songs. And we were all pulling each other up, you know what I mean? Like, up until 2016, 17, we were touring, doing like gigs in Maghreb, Tunisia, and like, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So it's different, of course. I always imagine if I was born in Egypt, what would I have done? Maybe the struggles we had in Jordan made us better bands. That's what I think. Because I think we have great bands in Jordan. And what we have done in that era, like these 4 bands, I haven't seen it around the region. Of course, in Egypt, it's always there. But you know what I mean? Like having like 4 good bands in one city that are touring together all around the region, and they're known all around the region, and they're being called the pillars of the independent scene in the Arabic region.
Yeah. It's funny when you look at the visual arts scene or the intellectual scene, the sort of writers and other people who are based in Jordan, there's a recurring theme of sort of silence, like not feeling that they are able to fully express themselves.
Are we going
because of I mean, politically, but it's also sort of like there is a heaviness to Amman, and I've been to Amman maybe like 30 times. There's a heaviness, like the economic situation is tough, taxes are high, unemployment is high. There is a heaviness to the daily life in Amman. I wonder how much that reflects in the music.
Listen,
or maybe you disagree. You can disagree with the premise.
There are things in every country in the world, like even whatever you want, like in Amman. I don't want to say things that I'm not very sure of or aware of, so I don't sound ignorant. So, like you have countries with homeless problems, you have countries with economic problems, you have countries with unemployment problems.
Yeah.
For us, we're like, you know how things are. Like we're in Jordan, we're in the middle of all these problems. Like we're literally in the middle, and Lebanon is not so much.
Lebanon, we have a million problems.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's not, of course, like so this will, like, if you find like the true artist within you, and you were able to believe in yourself and have people like showing you that you have something special, on every step. And I don't think I don't know what only happened with music at that era in Jordan, because nothing like else happened. Like maybe you had a couple of movies here and there. Now we have more shows like showed on Netflix, but at that era, in a whole 10 years, there was nothing that has been exported from Jordan other than this music by these bands. I don't know. And I was like mentioning 1983, and me and Bassem Said from Asher Zafir, we were talking like, okay, you're 1983, I'm 1983, Aziz Marfa 1983, Yazan Hafawi is 1983, Al-Far'i is 1983. And I actually had a band with Al-Far'i Abu Quaik, Tariq Abu Quaik, and Muhammad Abdullah min Murabba. We had a band being teenagers, and I was the first one that made a band when I went to university, and we all started making bands. So I don't know. It's written in the stars.
What nursery did you go to?
Not the same one. Not the same one. But it's very strange. Like, and actually, me, Bassem, and Yazan Hafawi, we studied IT, and we were friends. Like, we were close friends. We used to hang out all day. So but that's the thing that we learn from each other. Like, okay, I want to keep saying this. Like, okay, JadaL started first, but I had Bassem, like, just before starting the band, we were trying things together before. Like, I had JadaL, but he didn't have Asher Zafir. Like, at some point, Bassem Said from Asher Zafir, there was a possibility for him to become a vocalist for JadaL, for example, but it didn't happen. It's a community at the end. So
let's talk about the last song before we wrap up.
Okay.
that I chose that came out this year.
Oh, okay. Fatteht. Actually, this is one of the old songs I had. You can call it a B-side. But whenever I like showed it to people, they were like, "Yeah, this is nice. You should do this." Like I was like, "No, I don't want to." But I ended up okay. Maybe I should do this, and it ended up being like a grungy song, which is what I like about it.
محصور في إطار 1 2 1 2 3 هي خطواتي وانفشقت خطوة في خطر ع حياتي في خطر ع حياتي هذا حكي أمي وحكي إخواتي بس في بحر في شط في موج مع بط في عيني ما غرقت وشعران ما لمست مش راح ضل عايش جوا مش راح ضل عايش تحت مش راح أقول عدو الحظ مش راح أقول عدو البخت مش راح ضل عايش جوا مش راح ضل عايش تحت مش راح أقول عدو الحظ مش راح أقول عدو البخت فرات جنحان وطرت فوق الوادي مش شايف حد تاني مش شايف أي حد تاني واستغربت منكم واستغربت من حالي كيف مش شايف اللي شايف ومش فاهمين علي ومرضت وطبت مساعد قطابت أنا لسه ما شوفت أنا هسه فتحت أنا عايش ما معيش ولا عايش عبد القرش ولا عايش عبد القرش ولا عايش عبد القرش مرضت وطبت مساعد قطابت أنا لسه ما فرحت أنا هسه فتحت في بحر وفي شط وفي موج مع بعض وفي عيني ما غرقت الشعر ما لمست مش راح ضل عايش جوا مش راح ضل عايش تحت مش راح أقول عدو الحظ مش راح أقول عدو البخت مش راح ضل عايش جوا مش راح ضل عايش تحت مش راح أقول عدو الحظ مش راح أقول عدو البخت مش راح ضل عايش جوا مش راح ضل عايش تحت مش راح أقول عدو الحظ فتحت
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I want you to try to rate yourself out of 10.
Then as a musician,
No. I'm going to give you things,
Okay,
okay?
well.
So, out of 10, how do you feel like you are as a lyricist?
I'm pretty good. You started with the one that I can't say I'm not good with. Yeah.
Sah, this is what I was going to say. I feel like I would imagine that you would think that your strongest muscle is lyricism.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Over musicianship, over sort of writing the chords or the melodies or the hooks or the riffs or the solos or anything like production.
100%.
I feel like you're closer to a rapper than
Actually, this is what I tell all my film musicians. Guys, rap is easy, and if I just wanna do it, I can just do it. And this is so easy. Like, you know how much easier to write like 20 lines with the same meaning instead of writing 2 lines. You know, it's like poetry. Like you wanna have the strongest impact with the least words. You know what I mean? So, and this is another thing I was talking to another film musician. Like, dude, okay, if you want to do this song, you're great at writing commercial music. If I help you with the lyrics, we can take this to another level. If you help me with making my songs more easy listening, all my songs, like, I'll give you this, give you that. So, yeah, if you want to talk about it more, I don't mind.
Yeah, I feel like that is your core strength.
Yeah, I would like to believe so as well. Yeah, if I'm allowed to.
Have you always thought of
No, no, no.
yourself as a lyricist or no?
Not at all. The first album we were writing, I was like trying to write because nobody knew what to do. So I was like, okay, fine, let's all try. I tried. I ended up writing 13 songs or whatever. And by the second album, I started doing more. Third album, I was like, okay. And by the fourth album, I was like, yeah, yes, this is my strengths.
Yeah, man. Do you have, when it comes to lyricists, do you have lyricists that you think are your favorite that you try to tap into?
Oh yeah, actually.
Or poets?
Poets,
Who are your favorite lyricists?
Poets, man. And Ahmed Matar amazes me, man. You know Ahmed Matar? He's a
No,
Iraqi,
not very well.
He's an Iraqi poet who got expelled. Expelled? This is how you say it?
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
from Iraq. In the early days, he lives in the UK. He still lives, still alive. Man, yani you read, and at the end, you always like, damn. You know, always. And the way he writes is amazing. I don't know if I learned from him, but I think the song Makina is in a way influenced by him because I started reading him. As in lyrics, I would say that Hamdan is one of the best lyricists in the region. The way he writes lyrics is amazing. Second to that, I would say Yazan Rosan. It's ones I was like, yeah, man. And I could say like we're buddies lyrics wise, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but yeah, and the one that I would believe, man, okay, I wish I wrote this, and a couple of things that Hamdan wrote, like Belaki ya Malaki, Yalli Hubbi ma Malaki, something like that. Yeah, I was gonna cover this song, and he's a friend of mine, of course. We had a project together in 2010. We had a side project, and the rest.
Would you? If,
I'm just kidding.
you can throw them all out. Kill them.
I don't know. Yeah, some, there are, of course, there are. The young rappers, like there's Shab Jdeed, he's like so genuine, amazingly genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you can you imagine a world in which you worked with a singer and a entire band and you just wrote lyrics for them? Could you imagine that?
No, I can't.
Would that feel?
I don't have that.
Why not?
Yes, I do have lyrics written only, but I don't think they will be translated. Like it will not translate, not in the meaning of words, but will not translate into good music if I wasn't writing the music. Maybe I don't know, because it's connected.
It's connected to you.
You know.
Okay, before we go, I want to ask you two lists.
Two lists.
Yeah. Let's say somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, listen, we're putting together a festival of the best musicians from the Arab world. They could be some rappers, they could be bands, they could be singers, they could be whatever you want. And we want it to be like curated by Mahmoud. Forget visas, forget
Not even think about
all that stuff. Don't think about visas.
Hey, dude, can I get a visa too? Of course not.
Akid, the answer is probably no, given the region we're from. Bas, what is the dream festival?
I'm thinking Da Vinci.
Whoever you want. Put together the list.
Okay, Da Vinci. Da Vinci, I don't know how he calls himself. I actually know only one song, but he seems to be fun to watch. I would get my friend. If that's the case, I'm gonna get After the Fear, yes, and
yeah. Mean coming.
The people who are fun to watch in my the history of watching bands. Okay, there's Random House, Beit Al-Ashwai. Okay, some of the band members they play with me, but I really watch it and enjoyed watching them. I would want my friends to watch them play live. I would want people to watch Emel Mathlouthi live.
Amazing, she's amazing.
Only if the rappers the only thing they do is diss each other, I would want them to be there. بس يعني لا شاب جديد is different. He's something that of course enjoyable to listen to. I'm not sure if he's enjoyable to watch. I know Marwan Pablo is enjoyable to watch. I would want the old Asher Zafir, because the old Asher Zafir are my friends. The new ones, they're not my friends. It's not that I hate, but I want them to be on stage so I can play some songs with them.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
no,
audience.
that's great. The last question is, if you could choose a artist to collaborate with from the past, any artist, living or dead, who would you want to collaborate with?
The first thing that's coming to mind is Abdul Halim, but I'm not going to be that obvious. I think Fahd Ballan, you know Fahd Ballan?
No.
But Fahd Ballan is, I think, from South Syria and North Jordan. It's called Al Horan. He has songs like I think Ya Salima, Ya Salima. He has songs that I tried to recreate, but I couldn't. It's very complex. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man, Mahmoud, this was a lot of fun.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it. And yeah, man, you have a gift. So it was great to have you on the series.
Thank you.
People can check out your music anywhere you find music, JadaL. Everything I played today was on YouTube, so feel free to go check out that stuff. And thanks so much.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much for having me. It was pleasant and fun. Thank you.